Well, welcome back to The Pulse with me, Andrea Catherwood. Now, Bob Dudley assumes control of BP today, and rebuilding the brand is not going to be any small challenge. To talk us through what the new CEO needs to do, we are with the Managing Director of Sparring Partners, a company which helps businesses manage their reputations. Bernhard Bauhofer joins us live from Zurich. Mr. Bauhofer, it's a very big task that Bob Dudley has taken on. He has come in decisively and made some moves, talked about having that dividend back sometime soon. What do you think of his first day in the job?
Well, good morning to London, first of all. I think he has done what everyone would have expected. He announced the establishment of a unit which really takes care of safety and compliances. This is certainly the right step, but it doesn't really promise, as BP has a long history of false promises, that this will really take consequences in a positive sense. What I feel is, what I've been missing in the case of BP is the lack of empathy, of caring about the people who were impacted by the crisis, and I think it's more the transformation of culture which he has to announce and really initiate. But
that's very difficult to do, isn't it? I mean, you're absolutely right. Many people might have thought that the obvious first PR move is to set up a safety unit. But how do you convince the media, particularly in the US, and indeed average consumers, that this isn't just a PR stunt or a PR move, but actually the real culture of BP has changed? How do you show us that?
Well, you cannot do this short term. You have to implement this change of corporate culture that implements the ongoing dialogue with different stakeholders, like media, like activist groups, like the environmental groups, like the residents in the spoiled areas. And over time, you might have the chance, when you consequently do this communication dialogue with the stakeholders, that you are respected as a responsible corporate citizen, and but this takes time, at least 1 to 3 years. It's not done with a PR move, as you said. It's really a long-term strategy he has to follow consequently.
Now, we're already, if you think about it, we did hear back in the teeth of the crisis that the brand might split up, that BP might fail altogether. Is it the case that time will heal this, or would that be a bit of a mistake on BP's part, just to think that as the disaster seems to be a long time ago, things will get better all on their own?
Well, that's usually what shareholder value companies tend to do. They're hoping that things go back to business as usual. But the reality, this crisis has been, in terms of scope and length of duration, unique and historic. It needs significant and drastic actions to restore credibility with all stakeholders. There is no time wait-and-see attitude appropriate for Mr. Dudley. He really has to move and act fast and decisively.
Mr. Bauhofer, thank you very much indeed for your insight this morning. Thank you.